Remember the old turntables? How would you like to make your own Lazy Susan or any kind of turntable? If you want to see that, stick around. All right, welcome to Shop Night Live. I'm Tom McLaughlin, and behind the camera is the infamous or famous camera lady.
Not infamous, please.
No, I know, I corrected. All right. Well, tonight we wanted to share with you the technique for attaching a mechanism to create a Lazy Susan out of a disc or anything like that. And this topic came to mind because of an improvement I made recently in the finishing room. And some of you were down there. I think we did a Shop Night Live down there, right? Yes, we did. Okay.
A month or so ago.
So we showed it that night, but if you missed that, maybe in the neighborhood, we've shown it a number of times, but it's a carousel, like a turning table. Let's just look over here for a second.
Yeah.
This, I actually took it off of my little setup down there just to show you. This is the little turntable that I have down in the finishing room now. So I can put like a chair on there and just spin it around. In fact, let me get a chair. I'm gonna throw it up on there. And if I was gonna finish this with a spray gun, I'd just set a chair on there and you can spray and you don't have to walk around. So it cool. Seems like a little thing, but it's really convenient and it's kind of fun to just, quickly get things done that way. So I'm going to set this aside.
It's smart to bring that up here so people could see it.
Yeah, I'm always thinking.
You are, always.
So what I want to do is show you the mechanism that I used on that turntable. There's other types, but it's a pretty affordable and strong way of creating a turntable. But at the same time, you might have some round tops hanging around like this one, or especially if you took the veneer class with us, you might have a round top that you never made a base for. We actually made that contemporary round table course to be compatible with the round top in that course. So this top is about 17 and 5/8 across diameter. I don't know why. The other tops are 18, anywhere from 17 and a half to 18. These tops have ended up, and we show veneering the edge and the underside. And then this one has a sunburst with zebra wood, and then a nice cool inlay with a combination of, what is it again? I know this is Macassar ebony and
I forget.
Oh gosh, ferret, somebody tell me. I think you know. All right, it's a nice brown wood.
Not walnut.
No, it's not walnut. Anyway, this will make
either. No.
This will make it for a great little Lazy Susan. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a mechanism like this. You can also accompany your local band because it's made of 2 discs that have captured in there. I don't think you can see in there, but whole bunch of ball bearings. Okay, so it goes around. These 2 discs will move easily. Now we put a link to this in the notes.
The description below. We have a 6-inch and a 2-pack for the 12-inch.
Yeah, where it says more, you click on that.
Yep.
Okay. It's the notes, but click more and you're going to see a list of things if you're not familiar with that. And the link for this, you get actually like a 2-pack on Amazon. You can get them for like 19 bucks. So about 10 bucks a piece. And these are rated, believe it or not, for 1,000 pounds. I'm not sure you're going to need 1,000 pounds, but it's nice to know, right? So anyway, I'm going to use this, and we'll make a lazy Susan out of this top, all right? So what I want to do was make a base disc for this to attach to. So what you need to do is just have a disc like this, which I've already made, and this is 12 1/8 diameter. It's just a little larger than this disc, which is 12 inches, okay? So it sits a 1/16 in all around, and this is going to be attached to the base first, and then we're going to attach the ring to the underside of the top. Okay? So it's going to be on there like that. We're going to have that base. So here, you're probably saying, all right, how do you do that? If you're going to attach this down to this disc, how then are you going to, once it's attached, how are you going to get it screwed into the base of this top? And the trick there is this large hole. There's actually two of them. And you have to drill a larger hole, an access hole, in this location so that once this is applied, you can then come through and get it on the bottom, okay? All right, so you want to be careful to center this as best as possible. It's not critical that it's like dialed in to orbit the moon or anything, but we do.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. But we do want it to be pretty close, so when you spin it, it doesn't like wobble and drop grandma's pecan pie off the side of the... All right, so what we're going to do is take our top and let's get it located for this disc to start off with. This will help us. I want to center this and make a guideline lightly on the underside of our top. So I'll just get a rule and we'll measure over, and it's 5.5 inches exactly. So what I'll do is take the little square, I'm going to set it to 2 3/4. Okay, I'm going to lock it in. And now I'm just going to eyeball it, and let's go ahead and start chewing it up. So this is going to act as to help me center this here. Put it there. You know, I could have used a compass too, but that's pretty involved. This should get us pretty darn close. You can do whatever you like. I'm going to extend this just a tiny bit more. Okay. Okay, we'll get this centered. This may end up on our new round table, so...
Ooh.
Did you know that?
I did not.
Well, now you know.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I think it'll look pretty good on that mahogany top, which is almost done, by the way. If you tuned in last week, we talked about grain filler, and this past Tuesday, we had an open shop with the neighborhood members, and we put the first coat of filler on that large table. So I have since put 2 more coats on, and it looks great. And I'm going to just shellac it and then put the top coat on. So we'll share that with the wider audience. But I'm going to show the next stages with the neighborhood. So if you're interested in that and you've always wanted to be in the neighborhood, check it out on the website, and we'd love to have you move in.
Yeah.
All right, so let me...
It's a community, membership community. You can see details in the description below.
Yeah,
Just
it's a lot of fun.
if you're interested.
All right, so that looks good there. Now I'm just going to make a little light line. This will help me locate it after. Okay. And now let's go ahead and put the, actually I got to scrape this a little bit. I'm going to put the disc on our ball bearing disc on the base plate first. I got a little raised edge here. This is just 1/2-inch plywood, and I veneered an edge, a dark edge on it. I did this a little while ago, but I used mahogany veneer. So you're really not going to see this, but you could put some, I was thinking at the time, I'd put some mahogany on one side at least, so when you flipped it upside down, you would see it, but that's kind of optional. But let's go ahead and get it on there.
Not going to be seen.
Yeah, it's not. All right, so I'm going to take, so it's not confusing, I'm going to put this over here for a second. All right, so we're going to take the disc and center it on here. I'm just going to eyeball this. I don't have to measure it. I can kind of feel it. Feels nice, and it looks pretty accurately inset. Nice. And now I'm going to go to one of these holes. So here's the larger hole right here. I'm not going to move it now, and I'm going to just do a little, actually you can probably see it better if I do this one, right? Stay right there. I'm just going to trace on this larger hole. Remember I mentioned that? And I'm going to put the center of it here. Now that hole is cut out. That's a 3/4 inch hole in the metal. So I'm going to go 3/8 of an inch from that line to the center. Now, the other thing I want to do is mark these 4 locations. Let me make sure I'm good before I do this. This is going to be critical. All right, so I'm going to star this first because there's 2 holes, right? Just in case there's any discrepancy in the locations. Now I'm going to circle. I'm just going to put 4 screws in here. Let's go ahead and mark them.
Do you plan to put any kind of cork board or anything underneath to keep the Susan from slipping?
Yes, that's a great question. I do have some cork board. I'm thinking of using that. Or you could have some thin rubberized feet. I have some felt pads, but you don't really want something slippery. You want something that's going to give a bit of tack like you mentioned. So I may just cut some rounds out of the cork sheet I have here. Okay, those are good. Now I'm not going to attach it yet. I've got to remember to drill this hole. So let's locate that hole. I'm going to come over 3/8 of an inch, right about there. And then off the center, if this is the center of the disc, I'm going to be right about there. So we need to bore through here. So let's head over to the drill press. Now, I'm not going to drill the whole 3/4. I think a 5/8 hole is large enough to access it. So let's head over to the drill press. And what do you know? We're all set up with a 5/8 bit, and I've got it into a fresh sacrificial table. So I've got it set, so I'll just plunge in a little. So I'll get a nice clean hole here. Let me get it lined up. That looks pretty good. All right, let's be boring. Look at that.
Strategic, making the machine make noise after your dad joke there.
No, I kept it off until I got that.
hear all of the moans.
Oh, were there moans?
No.
What do you mean? I thought that was a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to get it set here. Again, I'm re-establishing center, okay? And I can see I've got a nice even ring. And here I'm just going to use these little 1/2 inch, kind of a deep thread round head screws. These are the same ones that you use to attach like drawer slides and things like that. Now I have a little magnetic force on the bit, which is nice because I don't want to lose it. And these are so small, I don't need to pre-drill. Let's go ahead. I want to make sure I don't slip this thing.
I have a funny question about the propane heater on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
What kind is
People noticed that last time
Yeah.
too.
it? Sure does a great job in here.
Yeah, it takes the chill off. You know, I keep this room set in the mid upper 50s in the winter. And I'll just turn that on. It takes the chill off in the morning. It's a Rinnai, one of those Rinnai propane space heaters. And then the sun comes flooding in on the nice days like today. And even though it never got above really 45 here, those south-facing windows with that radiant heat just warms this place up into the 60s, and we're good to go. All right, so there, I am centered, I'm applied to the disc, and we now have our access hole in the bottom. So now we're just going to bring our disc over and set it on the underside of our top, and this is where I'm going to sight it, and I'm looking to get it lined up with that pencil line that I made earlier. So let's see if we can get it pretty close. Looks pretty accurate. Okay, I'm happy with that. You know, this is real. I don't want to screw it up. All right. Now, there's 4 holes. There's actually like 8 holes of different sizes in here, but there's 4 of the smaller size. So I'm going to just go into those smaller ones. Okay, get a little impression there. And this is where you want to have a magnetic tip, so you don't want to lose that going in. And I hope I stay steady and don't lose it. Okay, that's good so far. All right, that's good. I'm on my pencil line still. Everything looks pretty hunky-dory. Let's go over to this one opposite. See if we can get that in. Okay. Okay. Get a few screws over here. So good having the camera lady shine the light. Right where I need it. She's always shining the light.
Oh, we hope. We can only hope.
And look at. You definitely want to use screws that are shorter than the thickness of your top.
So
That's the tip of the knife.
David's asking about drilling the 2 access holes instead of just 1. Is there a reason?
No, I don't see any reason, David, why there are even 2 access holes, because obviously you access them all with this one. So I don't know why they give you an option. Maybe if you get in a jam or something and being able to use it on the other side. And that's that, all right? So Do I have my cork roll? Yeah. I'm going to just show you what I might use for the base, and it would be this cork. So if this was large enough, you know, you can buy these in sheets. Just contact thin 16th inch cork. I should have gotten a link to it. This isn't quite big enough to get the whole thing.
Later.
Huh?
I can add it later.
Yeah, Contact brand, but I use it to, you know, for all kinds of things. But that might be good just to have it cover the whole thing, you know. Or you can cut little circles and strategically place them. So if you put 4 under here and get one to cover the whole, right? You could stain this some color, or you could veneer it, like I said, if you want to get away from the birch. But it's not going to be seen, really, because you're going to display this beautiful Lazy Susan just like this. And
Nice.
the way you can hypnotize yourself is by look right in the middle, and I'm going to see if that dot seems to move at all. It's very close to staying dead center, so that's a job well done, I think. If I put my finger over here, it's pretty darn close to being true the whole way. So we got it
Right.
pretty close to center.
Cool.
So check that out. Isn't that nice? Aren't you like, now you won't have to say, could you pass the
Yeah.
salt and pepper, please?
So troubling.
Sure, there you go. It's over there.
I'm more excited about the chips and guac that are going to go on there.
But anyway, this is the method for applying that type of disc. And that's all I did on this guy over here. So this was a larger format. With this, I wanted more than just the thickness of the plywood. So I had like a 1/2 inch, or this is actually a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. And rather than just having the edge out there, I knew I might even be standing like chests on here, you know, something heavy. So I took the 3/4 inch plywood and then I edged it with some solid wood. And I just glued it and nail gunned it on. And it's just 1.5 inches wide, and it's about 3/4 of an inch thick edging that I just went around with. So that stiffened up this whole panel more rigid. So then when I had to get the disc in there, can you see in there? I actually added this filler block, about 1 inch of material, in order to build up this cavity under here. And then I attached the disc to that block, and then there it is, the access hole right here. So I went around and I put in all the screws, there's one there, into the underside. And then I had my turntable for the finishing room. So you could make these any size, really. It's a strong enough situation. And that 12-inch wide disc, I think that's advisable for a larger panel like this. And then I just ran some screws into the table downstairs, so I could just remove this if I don't want the turntable on there. So that's the answer to some of your questions about how we made that turntable. So the technique extends into making Lazy Susans, and maybe there are other ideas you have as well.
So you did say that you used a 12-inch underneath that, right?
Yeah, the exact same brand.
On
So
the,
the one that we put the link to
Finishing
there.
turnstile, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Great.
if you get another one like this, you get them side by side, you can be the DJ playing your cool tunes,
that's
right?
cool.
That's cool.
Extra fun. Put some pizza on those. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. This would serve your pizza, wouldn't it?
Yeah, love it.
And we've got those pizza boards. It would be perfect.
It's excellent.
So, any other questions?
No more questions.
All right, everyone. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that content tonight. It's fun to add some hardware like this that gives you an interesting use of a piece of your work.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and check out our website at epicwoodworking.com,
Yes.
especially, as we mentioned earlier, the neighborhood. We'd love to have you a part of that. on behalf of the camera lady and myself, we thank you for stopping by, and we look forward to seeing you next time, right back here on Shark Night Live.
Yeah. All
Good
right,
night,
everybody.
everyone.
Have a great upcoming weekend. See you next week.